Hi, this is Matt with the Intergalactic Herald. Welcome to my Star Atlas Week in Review podcast. This is podcast number 67. Any articles or videos mentioned can be found on my website at intergalacticherald.com. Please look for News Recap 125. So just a quick summary of kind of some of the things I'll be talking about. Some of the content, there was the Atlas Brew and some of the initial parts of the crew release, airdrop, and the snapshot occurred. And then I'll just go over my two sections, my State of Star Atlas thoughts and kind of my journey playing Star Atlas. But before I get to that, just two quick projects I'm working on. One is my merch store, Star Atlas merch store called Intergalactic Gear. You can get that at intergalacticgear.com. It is open for business. I have some mugs for sale. I'm trying to develop my second product line, but, well, busy. It's summer here in the, Northern Hemisphere, and family activities with kids out of school. So anyways, slow going, but well, yeah. Anyways, I have some mugs, Star Atlas mugs, different logos and things like that. So if you go to intergalacticgear.com, if you're interested in purchasing any of those, you can. They're only available so far for shipping in the United States. Some point I'll turn on worldwide shipping, but again, just part of the rollout and understanding all the setup, and hard enough trying to figure out taxes in the United States. But if you are not interested in purchasing anything, but you would like to give me some feedback, I'd love to get some input on some Star Atlas merch you'd be willing to be interested in purchasing. I do have a merch survey there, so if you could fill that out, greatly appreciate it. Also, still on the back burner is what I'm calling the Intergalactic Coalition. Again, you can go to intergalacticcoalition.com to find that. It's kind of, well, I want it to be a Star Atlas community of gamers who don't want to join guilds. At one point I called it a non-guild guild. Now I think I'll just call it a gamer community, or Star Atlas gamer community. I don't know. Anyways, the idea is that you just don't want to hang out in the Discord, and you're looking to hang out with some people, smaller group, different platform, a little more, less chat-like, more of threaded discussions, more asynchronous. So, if you miss something 3 hours later, you can still catch up. So anyways, if you're interested in something like that, please go to intergalacticcoalition.com. We'll be a paid community, but that's to help offset the cost of the software. It's not free like Discord. Anyways, let's get into the content. Just have a few things, kind of mention why I think there's only a few things, but there was an Atlas Brew this past week. So again, the Star Atlas community team, keeping up with their regular Wednesday kind of community chats called Atlas Brews. They did preview the crew pack process. In fact, they talked about it quite extensively. So some of it's already occurred, some of it's still coming. So again, if you want to kind of hear more about that, see some early previews of how the opening of the crew packs will actually go, great to do. Again, if you go to intergalacticherald.com, look for News Recap number 125, there's a link to that. And just to mention in passing, Star Atlas TV does recordings of those and posts them, and that's the links I provide. It's a great service to the community. I cannot watch these things live due to, just life, running my business, things like that. So it's really great to catch up on Friday night with all the things. So again, I want to shout out to Star Atlas TV for recording those and spending the time. It's really great service to the community. In the Star Atlas Discord, the team did announce that the crew will be available on Tensor for secondary training. So apparently I need to figure out where that is. Never got into kind of the NFT trading stuff before. So some website called Tensor. So something new to learn. But again, I'll just wait till the crew cards come out and are actually, I guess, tradable and see what happens there. And then I did see, I guess it was on Star Atlas, so I'll take that as the thing, though somebody else kind of made it sound like it had occurred. But anyways, that the airdrop. So this past week, the snapshot where Star Atlas determined who had a ship. They recorded all that data, but unfortunately, it sounds like since there's a lot of data to process, they aren't able to stick with the goal they had, which was giving the crew out to everyone. So that's been delayed. Haven't checked the Star Atlas Discord since Friday night, so I don't know if it's been updated. I wrote this to myself on Friday night when I finally saw it. So I'm not sure when we'll get our crew airdropped. Again, the crew opening, though, was still in the future. I think it was August 20th, but again, all dates are subject to change, and my memory may be fading, so check the Star Atlas Discord for any of the announcements there. Anyway, so that was kind of pretty much it. And so moving on to my, kind of commentary analysis section on the kind of the state of Star Atlas, there definitely has to admit a lot of anticipation for the crew. The Star Atlas Brew went over it. I haven't read it yet, but I think Guild published one of their great long kind of missing manuals or guides to crew. And so, but anyways, there seems to be a lot of talk about that in the Star Atlas community, and makes sense. It's again been touted as for early adopters who bought ships. Now they're kind of splitting into components. You got your ship hull, now you have your crew, and I think it's a crew component bundle. Don't quote me on that. There was an article that Star Atlas put on that, and I read it, but again, just being a pragmatist. Okay, cool. We got this other thing, and it doesn't do anything, and we can trade it. Okay, so it's like just one more thing to have to deal with. But I guess more will make sense in the future, which is fine. But I did what kind of was thinking more about crew, and as much as there's been a lot of anticipation and kind of community sentiment being like, this is great, I still was like, but what do you do with crew? And I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's just for Sage. And again, I know some of the bigger players in there have been saying that crafting is a bottleneck, and if they had more crew, then they could craft more. I haven't really got into crafting much, so I'm not sure. But it sure didn't sound like there was much else. And again, when I think they had the crew video, they were showing, the Unreal Engine 5 aspects, the player profiles and things like that, aptitudes, leveling up, the mobile app. And I'm like, yeah, it's all great, but I don't think we're going to get anything after we get our crew, except maybe something in Sage. So again, we'll see. But again, I hate to say it, it just feels like it's going to be a letdown in a couple weeks. Okay, we got this, and then we're done. But again, I'm glad to be wrong. But again, opening the crew cards sounds cool, and collecting them and having different rarities, that all sounds interesting, but it feels a little like just the NFT buzz of a couple years ago, and then I don't know why I need a Bored Ape. So long term, though, yeah, seems like there's a lot of things that crew enables, but so does ships. And other than I shouldn't be. Even though I'm not enjoying playing Sage, your ships do have utility in Sage. You can mine things. You can craft things. Well, I guess crafting is now crew, but up until this point, you needed a ship to craft. No, actually, I'm sorry. Well, you had it. Okay, I'm totally going down the wrong path. Let's just stick on ships and what you can do for sure. You can move a ship in Sage. You can mine a ship or mine a resource with a ship, and you can scan for STUs with a ship. So those things, assuming your ship's equipped with all the necessary things, crew or components, in the future, you'll still be able to do that. So there is utility for a ship. Obviously, you can take your ship into Unreal Engine 5 and move it around, fly it around, look at it. And again, if you own it, that is there. And again, the UE5 thing's been called the showroom, so you can go see it. And again, it's kind of cool, especially with the ownership aspect. But again, back to crew, if it's just crafting and Sage, again, unless there is I'm not sure how much of the gameplay that really changes, because you could do that before. It may allow people with larger fleets to craft more. Great. Again, I guess we'll just see. But to end it on a positive note, I do still think there's a lot of value in the short term with just the collection aspect of it, because that is kind of cool. And the reason I say that is it's no different than collecting the ships. Maybe I'll be interested in getting a crew for some other reason, but again, we'll kind of see. But again, ships are kind of the same thing. They have all these potential things down the road. So anyways, that's anticipation crew. The other thing I was realizing, I've mentioned before, that it sure always kind of seemed like we're in different periods of time where we're in just waiting. And I was realizing we're not really waiting now. It's more of progress. I mean, they did take a snapshot of the people who had ships. Maybe the airdrop's been delayed, but it sounds like that's just a technical hurdle. They had so much data, it took a while and time to process. Yeah, I mean, if you've ever used computers before, you inevitably do something that takes longer than you expect. So totally get it. So, and then there'll be the opening and then the trading. So, I mean, I definitely think there is much more of a progress period right now. Additionally, and it's not really waiting, because to me, waiting is not knowing what's coming. We do know what's coming. And it sounds like there's a lot of emphasis being put around the breakpoint, from having the conference there to obviously preparing different things to show both at the keynote address at breakpoint and then what's happening at the conference. So I would imagine a lot of things are being done, given pretty sure that was end of September. Anyway, so, month or two from now. So yeah, I think we're in a progress period where things are moving forward with that has been told, and have been told will be told at Breakpoint. So, and then the last kind of thing on the state of Star Outside now, and I don't know if maybe this might be more about the community as opposed to the team. I wonder how much, at least for Northern Hemisphere community members, how much of summer just impacting family. I mean, I mentioned that I'm being time taken away doing family activities because the kids are off of school, and I don't know, the weather's nice, and you don't want to sit on the weekend and create a guide or something like that. So anyways, I wonder if again a little bit is just the mental state of thinking of summer, even though I haven't been having a summer break from school for decades. So it was nice where it lasted, I'm sure, for sure. But you become an adult and you got to work all the time. Anyways, so last little kind of updates sort of my journey of playing Star Atlas. I'm on my last mining material, which is diamond. I think as I checked this morning, I had reached a halfway point of over 500,000 units mined. My goal was, again, 1 million. Really hoping I can wrap that up and move all the stuff back before the crew opening, and they force the disbanding of ships or fleets within Sage next week. So I don't know if it's going to work out, but I think I finally developed a sustainable supply chain by adding one more I guess it wasn't large, but relatively speaking, larger capacity ship to the thing. So I'm moving the fuel, food, and ammo out, and I haven't run out once. So if small, minor accomplishment to have a sustainable supply chain, especially given how long of the distance is, I'm sure I could have overcome that before by adding the other ship. So anyways, it's kind of cool just to be checking. Solana, I think, has been busy. I think I personally correlated that to something I read in one of the other news articles that another meme coin was released on Solana, and that was driving up the price of Solana, which I would assume perhaps meant that congestion went up too. But I've been just keeping mine at the no priority fees, and so I think it causes the transactions to take a long time to occur. But since there's the long travel distance, most of the time the ship's like an hour and a half travel or just moving, so no transactions need to be approved. So, but anyways, moving through on all that, and yeah, partly happy to complete a goal, slightly happy to stop having to do something, again, only because I don't really have any purpose for mining 1 million of all these different resources or materials, excuse me. But again, we're almost near the end. And then the last little thing on kind of my journey, and it's not necessarily to my play, but it's more of my role as whatever I do. Started 2 new guides to kind of take my beginner's guide and take it to the next level, I guess. Well, through some motivating comments, decided maybe it was worthwhile to do. So creating 2 guides. One is a kind of just a beginner's guide to starting to play Starbased. Hopefully it doesn't get totally blown apart if they make changes next week. But, anyway, I guess I could always redo that video, but I have all the video. The raw video was captured of that, and then I did another one, which is my thoughts on how to get started playing Star Atlas. And again, this is more of the broader one. I said a couple of monetary starting points, $100 and $20 a month to kind of handle transaction fees and increasing your fleet and buying resources and things like that. Again, hopefully that doesn't totally get blown apart once you need to buy a ship plus a crew. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, once we see how things are different after crew has been fully released. But anyways, got started on those. Posted the 2 overview videos on YouTube and got a few views. So that's kind of cool. So anyways, that's about it. Again, not a lot of content that was created, so not a lot of analysis. Again, I'm going to blame maybe summer for a little bit of the content creators getting busy. So I haven't posted a lot. Like I know Beyond Horizon has gone, well, I think he's doing some shorts, but not his typical long form content. Metaverse Nomads keep doing their weekly, and those are great. But this last one was more about the couple of their guild members thinking of getting on the council for the DAO, which again is great, but it just didn't incite anything in my mind that I wanted to share with you guys. But again, the links are in my news recap if you want to check it out. So anyways, I'll wrap up there. Thanks for listening. Always appreciate it. Haven't said it in a while, but if you do like this and you want to leave a review on wherever you're listening to your podcast, of course I'd like it. If you're listening on YouTube, of course, like it. I'd appreciate that. All those standard like and subscribe stuff. But anyways, thanks for listening. Hope you have a great week ahead. And this is Matt with the Intergalactic Herald.